Peace, peace, peace. How y'all doing? It's your boy Sincere Seven coming to you live direct from the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit, the Florida edition, as well as
Jocelyn from La Vida Divine, coming to you live from Ecuador, South America.
Ooh
Yes,
wee Ecuador. That's what I'm talking about.
we are bicontinental now.
Yes. So I am very excited. We have a very, very awesome announcement to make. Um, This has been up and coming for a while, even though we didn't know it, but we knew something was brewing. And so that's what we're here to talk about today. Um, Birthing the Medicines Persons, a 12-month extensive training course held by the Queen Goddess Jocelyn as well as myself, Sincere Seven. So, Goddess Jocelyn, go ahead and take over for a minute and bless the people
Sure.
with whatever you might have to say.
Blessings, blessings. So I just want to share a little bit with your community about who I am, where I come from, and then give space as well for you to kind of introduce yourself to the community that may not know you, because I think you are someone that folks should know about the work that you do. All of the training and experience that you have, and how this is important to the work that we're getting ready to do together, which is so exciting. So, as Sincere shared, I am Goddess Jocelyn. I am both a medicine person in so many ways. So, my training comes from both the Western and the Eastern, or the indigenous training. I was an emergency room nurse for 20 years in the United States. I worked there for 20 years as a ER nurse, which brought a lot of training to the medicine world. And I began my medicine path about 13 years ago. I was introduced to grandmother ayahuasca, and that journey opened up a lot of healing for myself. And it opened up a humongous opportunity for me to begin learning and walking with this medicine. And so, in the past 7 years, I have been training under the tutelage of Taita Sensei, who has been my teacher and my shaman. And he is from the Shuar community, which is the community that I work with here in Ecuador and South America. Um, in 2020, I was given the opportunity and the blessing to open up a healing institute. We call it the La Vida Divine Healing Institute here in the Amazon region of Ecuador. And we have been hosting retreats that are focused and safe space for all people, but with a focus on the BIPOC and the queer community, because there is definitely a need for our folks to be able to have a safe space to journey. And so for all these years, we've been learning how to work, at retreats and all of that. But the medicine has been also been a big space for us. And I met Sincere, was it almost 2 years ago now?
Yep.
Almost 2 years ago at the Condor Approach through Ty and Cole. And, we instantly knew, medicine person, that this was going to be really amazing to be able to, just be in community, be in the same space together. But we had no idea that this plan was what actually was coming. And so this year, there's been a lot of callings for me, and I know for Sincere, for us to be able to bring together, um, you know, medicine folks. How do I do this? How do I do ceremony? How do I hold space? How does one, get all this work done? How do we do this calling? And so, we wanted to get together and talk about this and bring some information forward about what we have. So that's a little bit about me, about what we're here to offer. And I want to pass it on to Sincere so he can share about himself and who he is and all the magical, amazing work that he's doing as well.
Indeed. So I am from Detroit, Michigan, and prior service military. And after I got out of the military, I started utilizing cannabis and growing cannabis almost 20 years ago for my PTSD, and it was a pacifier for me. Then I was introduced to the mushrooms by way of Baba Kalinde and Baba Mudu in Detroit, who basically specialize in high gram mushroom trips. My first trip was 7 grams, and that trip cured my PTSD overnight. So after that, about 15 years ago, was when that happened, and I started working with the mushrooms quite often for some years. And doing that, I started to become the person in Detroit that would take people through their mushroom doses. So that's how I started my journey within Practitioner. And as I studied and began to learn more and more about these medicines, I was introduced to different healing modalities, and a very, very brilliant individual in our community by the name of Acacia came and taught me the Cambo medicine and how to administer the Cambo and all of the teachings behind it, which is what brought me into the animal medicine kingdom of healing. And I was just enthralled with it. A couple years later, I I located a snake venom practitioner from Mexico and requested that they come to America and teach me how to work with the snake venoms, which they agreed to do. And that basically took me from one level to the next. After that, there was some separation that took place that caused me to have to go and study and learn this modality uh, more than I have ever studied anything else. I had found a lump in my testicles, and I was not receiving any more venoms. And this is what started me knowing that I had to go figure out the depths of this, which I did. And since then, after a while, I started teaching about 2 years ago, snake venom practitioners. I was one of the first snake venom practitioners in America. So it was a very honorable thing, and I felt like me and the couple of people who had it was not enough, and said, let us get to teaching more snake venom practitioners because everybody needs this. Within that, I was also being trained within the ayahuasca. Some of you might have seen on National Geographic, streaming on Hulu, LSD and the Psychedelic Revolution, where I was honored to be featured in that documentary serving ayahuasca to my community. And I am honored to continue my training under Goddess Jocelyn as we have brought this container together for everybody. So that's a bit of a brief synopsis of who I am and how I got started. Longer story, but for the sake of keeping the time down, that would be my introduction to these medicines in the sacred practitioner realm.
Thank you. I love how we both have similar journeys with medicine where we sought out medicine to heal ourselves first. I've shared in the past, and I missed to mention, like I also healed from breast cancer through ayahuasca. I did a lot of the medical treatments, but there was a part that was missing in my healing, and so that's how I ended up here in Ecuador, coming back to the medicine of my people. I was born and raised in Ecuador, so coming back to Ecuador to learn about the medicine of my people and heal through ayahuasca. So I love how we both our journeys have intertwined through our own personal healing, finding our calling, acknowledging that this is a need that is not just for us, but it's a need that is definitely there, especially for people of color, especially for our folks in our communities. And then extending that out to folks that are being called, the where we are right now in 2024, especially in the United States, other countries are not necessarily hearing this call as hard. But the United States is undergoing what it's being called as the psychedelic revolution, right? It's being called as it's a different time and a return of the history, because we went through this in the 1960s and the 1970s, and unfortunately the government shut it down because of how much of the potential that was there was not utilized appropriately, and it was kind of, it went off the rails. So we understand, both you and I, we understand that there's definitely a need for folks to be able to learn, to understand, to have knowledge of this work and this medicines, and do it from a place of safety, doing from places like both you and I have over 20 years of experience in this field. And we both you come from the military background, I come from the healthcare background. So there's a level of responsibility and care and safety that is, first and foremost for both of us. And clarity and integrity are two big things that, as a medicine practitioner, is there. That needs to be there in order to go forward.
And I feel like that integrity is number one. Let me just say that. That is what I feel like is lacking in these spaces. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people want to get into this for the financials, because of the fad, because of all of this. And it's like, come on, nah, where's the integrity? And as you said, both of us started out healing ourselves. And to me, it's not a necessary thing, but I prefer for the individuals that I teach and that I take through to have that desire. Not, oh, I want to learn this so I can make money, or I want to learn this so I can be the person. No, I think that that is the basis of who and what a practitioner is. You first have to heal yourself. You first have to check yourself. You first have to tap into yourself and make sure that you are proper physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to take these on. A
Mhm.
lot of people look at the judgments going around instead of paying attention to the integrity of the individuals that they dealing with. Why are you in this? Why are you doing this? And for a lot of us, healing the self, that is what assists us into knowing, oh, we can take this further. For me, the things that I do, emotional. I'm an emotional manifesting generator with a 1-3. So I'm an investigative martyr. So for me, I have to investigate to make sure that this is real. I'll sacrifice myself to make sure that this is on point. Then I feel comfortable taking it on to my people. And so, as you pointed out, for us to be practitioners on ourselves first. Yeah, I know a lot of people who have done certain things maybe one time and been like, oh, this is dope. And then started trying to do it to other people and haven't even fully gotten understanding of what it is they're dealing with. So thank you for pointing that out, because that is, something that I feel is very important. And I do feel like that goes right into the integrity of the individuals. Not to say don't want to help your community, but don't rush out here trying to do things with other people and you haven't even first yourself got a relationship with these medicines.
Mhm. That's such an important part. You bring up so many good points there. The first that came up was the quote, "Healer, heal thyself." That is
Right.
the number one space out here, especially with plant medicine, with infusions, with different life-changing substances that we have now access to, and it's becoming more and more accessible. It's healer, heal thyself. Having that responsibility to yourself first, because there's something that's very popular amongst the world, the communities out here, is the wounded healer, right? The wounded healer is someone that essentially, like you said, took a dose of medicine, took an experience from the substances, and they experienced this amazing, expansive healing, healing experience. And so from there, they're like, everybody should have this, and that is true. Everyone should have access to this. This is medicine that our Mother Earth has provided us for free and has given us the knowledge, through traditions and through our indigenous folks, that continue to carry and keep us safe, to be able to heal ourselves and heal different, not only physical ailments, but mental, spiritual, energetic ailments as well. Um, but to be able to just not say, I'm going to take this and now I'm going to provide it for everybody, but to take your time. You mentioned your human design. I'm also an emotional manifesting generator. I'm a 5-1, so that investigator part is there for both of us. We definitely are people that seek knowledge, that seek to uncover the truth first and then acknowledge and be able to share that truth with others. And the truth is that combo is a healing medicine. Snake venoms are healing, are transformative. Grandmother ayahuasca are transformative medicines. They're healing medicines. Not, like I mentioned, not just for the body, but they're also healing for the emotional, the spiritual, the energetic. It just brings up a lot of, of the needs that we have, the traumas that we have, the things that we have to heal, not only as individuals, but as a community. So, what this medicine has done for many of us is it has created ripples not only for ourselves but for our families, our communities, our friends, and therefore, and that's how you and I connected. We were creating community, you know. So yeah, so um, I guess to get into what we are offering, we're calling it birthing the medicine person, because as we were planning, this initially became a 9-month container.
That's right.
And, as you are aware, birthing a human takes about 9 months. And then the first trimester outside in the living world or the human world is another 3 months. The first 3 months of life are the most sensitive and most intricate parts of that life. And in many indigenous traditions, that it's called the cuarentena or the fourth trimesters. So we picked a fourth trimester journey for only 8 individuals. We're hosting this a very small, very
Intimate.
intimate
That's right.
group and circle because we want to be able to nurture you and birth you into this space. So over the course of 12 months, you'll have two dedicated sacred medicine practitioners really walking you through this path. Yeah, so that's part of what I wanted to share.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as we were doing this, we started thinking about, as we're taking people through these different modalities, how do we assist them in the integration after these experiences, which brought us to realizing, wait a minute, let's go ahead and start everything off with what some of us got at the end, which should have been at the beginning. So now that we have the opportunity to train, to teach, and to give people these special modalities of the integration, which is so important. Integration is not an option, but how you integrate is. And so, what we will be doing is starting off all of our students within the Condor approach psychedelic informed coach training. So that will be the first part of what we're offering is we will be taking everybody in our container to the Condor approach so that they can learn how to integrate their clients, help their clients to integrate whatever it is that they might be taking them through. So that is the first thing that we will be introducing our students to. What will be next, Jocelyn?
Yeah, we want to make sure that, like you said, they get what we got last. Many practitioners of this medicine that have been doing this for a really long time, we understand that we have had to learn um, in certain ways, and not necessarily in a pretty packaged, timely manner. That has been easy, and so for me, having learned the Condor approach and being able to have integration tools, because we're all integrating all the time. You're
That's right.
integrating everything all the time, but having tools to help you integrate in a healthy way has been life changing. And so, we want to make sure that when we begin, we're going to give you the information, like the basics of each medicine, the traditions, the safeties, the contraindications, how to apply it, all of those things. But we want to make sure that when you're learning these things, you're also learning what happens after. One thing that I always mention is that sacred medicines are more of a diagnostic tool than it is a healing tool. They let you know what is wrong within, what is happening within that needs to change, what is happening within that needs to heal. right? That's why they're called medicine. What is happening within that you need to learn or understand? That's why they're called teachers.
That's right.
It is what you do after that matters.
That's right.
It is what you do after that matters, and so that's why integration is a very important piece. And so we wanted to make sure that our first, we're going to have three, not one, not two, but three retreats throughout this 12 month container. And the first retreat is going to be at the Condor Approach in September in Austin, Texas. You know, where we're
Okay.
going to bring our students to through the portal that we went through in order to learn those tools of integration. And on
Learn
the
those
first,
first.
that, right? Because integration is first. We have to learn how to integrate first before we actually go through a medicine portal. And I think that you know, as a parent, and I know that's something else that you and I have in common, is that as a parent, had someone given you more information of how to raise your children the right way, you know, it would have probably done a lot things easier, you know. I remember the things that I did with my first child, I did not do with my second or my third, you know,
Right.
because I learned to do better. And I think that this is something that is also important that we bring to this space, is that we have been doing this for so long and helping folks through so long that we have now learned how to do this differently and more in a healing space. So,
So after we take them through the integration portal, what's next, Jocelyn?
so we're gonna take them into the combo portal. So you're not only going to learn how to, you know, receive combo for yourself, what that what that means and what that sacred medicine and that initiation is, but you're also going to learn how to administer. You're going to administer it through, you know, to your fellow students, you know, your classmates. This is not just going to be a school. This is going to become a community. These are people that you're going to birth yourself with, and you're going to become a medicine practitioner with. So each initiation or each portal is going to have 8 weeks, a total of 8 weeks of virtual learning. And that's one on one with us. You know, we're going to be in a small classroom setting. You're going to get a lot of the information, presentations, all of that, you know, the logical part. But the three retreats that we're offering, one is going to be for combo, the next one's going to be for snake venoms, and then you want to tell them about the third one, which is our big initiation one.
Okay, well, hold on, because I want to say something about that first part. So that first part, integration and then Cambo. I just want to touch on the Cambo real quick. In the entheogenic community, what we have is we have a lot of people hearing about these modalities and saying, hey, I want to try it. And a lot of them, some of them experience things that is less than desirable. And I just like to throw out there that when it comes to Cambo, a lot of people like to avoid it because it's not an entheogen. It's not psychedelic, right? But what I want to explain is this right here. If your grandfather had a vehicle and he parked that vehicle in his backyard and it sat there for 30 to 40 years, and then he passes away and they say, hey, you can have his vehicle, are you going to jump in it, start it up, and drive it to California? I don't think so. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to change the fluids, change the radiator, change the engine oil, put some new, right? You're going to wash it. This is the same thing as people who have been living their life, going through traumas, going through stress, going through all of these things and go, ooh, psychedelics. I want to do it. And they jump in and try to go to California. No, Cambo is the tune up. This is how you cleanse yourself physically, mentally, emotionally. Panema, the negative energy that's drawn up by the eyes, right? The things that you have seen and witnessed, the garbage we watch on TV, all of this is what Campbell is about. Cleansing yourself physically, emotionally, as well as spiritually to get you ready for your journeys, okay? So, as she said, after Cambo, once you learn that, then we're going to take you through the teachings and the understanding of the snake venoms. Snake venom is healing and bioengineering at its greatest. I always say that anything we have in the natural world they have a technological version of. So when you think of nanotechnology, programmable, um, programmable basically cells that they inject into you that have been programmed to go in and do certain things. This is a technological form of snake venom. Also, people talk about chemotherapy, which is a poison that they inject into your body to go in and to destroy certain diseases. Okay? Because for just to clear it up, a lot of people think chemotherapy is just used for cancer. That's not true. It's used for more things. It's used for arthritis. It's used for other things. But I'm just saying that to say that when you talk about snake venom, this is what it is. It's bioengineering. And so the snake venom is the second thing, well, excuse me, the third thing actually, that we are going to be taking our students through. And again, not just how to receive it, but how to apply it to yourself and how to apply it to others. The safety, the how often, who not to, all of this. So that will be the next step of the training. So we got integration, Cambo, then snake venom. And then, Jocelyn, you can
And
go ahead and
then we
continue.
have, once you have been absolutely tuned up, your engine is now clean, clear, and ready, then you're going to California. No, then we're coming to Ecuador. We're coming to the beautiful land of Ecuador, in the Amazon region, here where we are and where we host retreat monthly. To journey and continue to your path of learning with this time with grandmother ayahuasca. Grandmother ayahuasca has been very popularized as of late. She is a medicine that is thousands of years old. She has been, in indigenous practices in South and Mesoamerican, I'm sorry, in South American and Central American medicine, for a really long time. It is a vine, so we're going to definitely talk about what it is and what it's not. We're going to talk about the safety and the two only components that are needed for this brew. There's so much information that's going to happen that has been, brought out about this medicine, that in the brew that has been altered in a lot of places. So learning about the basics of this medicine, why it's used, how it's used, the stories and the history of it. Because in medicine, one of the biggest components of medicine is story sharing or storytelling. You learn so much from storytelling, and that is a very important part. So when we come to Ecuador, after you have learned about combo, after you have learned about snake venoms, now you come and you have learned the theory of ayahuasca, but then you get to actually be in the land where ayahuasca grows. So you get to see the vine grow, right? See what it looks like, prepare the medicine yourself. Because here, where we hold retreats at La Vida Divine, our shaman or taita believes that knowing and having a relationship with the medicine that you consume is of utmost importance. You get to actually place your intentions as you make the medicine, as you get to sing to it, you get to actually commune with the medicine, and the medicine gets to learn about you prior to you consuming it. And we'll get to have our ceremonies, and our last ceremony of initiation, right, which is where you actually learn to not only carry this medicines but carry the sacredness of what that is. It is a sacred responsibility, not given to all people. It's a sacred responsibility that's given to very few, to be able to carry medicine in this way. um, so we'll be in the luscious land of the Amazon region, where you get to actually rest and restore and heal. The food here is amazing. Ecuador has not allowed any GMO seeding into our country, so when you actually taste the fruit, taste the food that is here, it tastes like it's supposed to taste. A banana tastes like a banana. A watermelon tastes like a watermelon. An orange tastes like an orange. All of those things, and we get to be nestled amongst the Amazon and the sounds of nature. all of it. There's waterfalls here, there's rivers, all of that that you can imagine. That's going to help you integrate the process of what you're going through. But it doesn't end there, right? It's not after initiation you are done. Like we send you out in there into the process, and you get to do ceremony on your own. That's not the end of it. Although that's the 9 month or the pushing you out of the container, the final ceremony. There's still 3 months of support that we want to offer and give.
We're wrapping it up, getting it clean.
And so the last 3 months, Sincere, you want to share about the last 3 months of our 12-year journey
Yeah,
together?
most definitely. So, what we're going to be doing after we take you through the integration, the Cambo training, the snake venom training, and the ayahuasca training is we're going to be assisting you in training in how to be a practitioner. Okay, so all of this is teaching you how to be an administrator and a facilitator. The practitioner comes after you have received all of this. So, for the next 3 months, we will be working with you on how to give lectures, on how to administer and facilitate Cambo ceremonies, snake venom ceremony containers, as well as ayahuasca. You will be getting to come back and explain to us what you did. How did it go? How were the journeys of the people that you took them through, as well as how to safely create a business around, if you choose to, around these modalities that you all have took in the last 9 months of learning. How to get your paperwork and protections as a facilitator so that you can travel with your medicines. How to set up your website. How to speak the languages comfortably and carefully so that you're not having your websites shut down, your money taken from you. How to deal with your clients during and afterward. So after we birth the medicine person, then we're gonna quote unquote breastfeed the medicine persons. Not from my breast, like you're gonna have hair in your food, but just just as far as that would be the last 3 months. So like she said, we're not just like, okay, you learned, go on, good luck. No, 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 no. You've learned, all right, let's walk together with you as you find comfort in these teachings that you have received. So that will be what the next 3 months are about, or
Yeah,
excuse me, the last 3 months.
yeah. It's so important to me to not just share with folks the knowledge that we carry and the things, the experiences that we have had for so many years, at least over 2 decades, between the two of us. But it's also, being able to essentially hold their hands as they step out. Many of us that have been working with medicine for a really long time, we did not have folks hold our hands throughout the process and have a space where you can call in and say, hey, I'm holding medicine today, is there anything I need to do, or I'm having this happen. Having a community where support is there for you at all times, so that you don't feel alone in this path. There's many believes that the path of the medicine man or the medicine woman is a lonely path, and it doesn't have to be, and it can change, right? It's something that we can create a new narrative for, where you have support, where you have someone walking through you, someone that has been there, someone that has done it, someone that can tell you stories of, you know, quote unquote, good journeys and challenging journeys and bad trips and all of this, all of those things that we have experienced in order to be able to create safer containers. Um, so this is something that we take very into our hearts. The work that we want to do, it's very important. As many of you know, like, practitioners of color, medicine people of color, we're not very well known. We're not very much brought up into the spaces that we need to be brought up. So, although this container will be for all folks, we want to encourage our folks of color to, that if they have been hearing the call, you've been hearing the call, you've been wondering what it's like to, hold ceremony, hold sacred ceremony, to have safe space for folks. If you've journeyed before and you know this medicine has changed your life and you want to help others. Um, if you've been here in the call or you're already practicing, but you may want to know more about things like spiritual hygiene, of how to set up your altar, or how to integrate after, how to create a sustainable practice that does not deplete you energetically, physically, emotionally, monetarily, all of those things. This would be the space, that we want to create for folks.
That's right. And so, just to recap, because I've had a lot of people ask about training, and some of them say, "Well, I would want to try this before I decide to train things to this." So, I just want to recap over the year what will be going on. You'll start out learning integration training, and after that, directly after that, you learn how to administer and facilitate Cambo. Okay, and then you will go home and we will train for the next few months on snake venom. And then when we get back together, you will experience snake venom as well as go through an ayahuasca journey. Okay? So the first time is integration in Cambo, then is snake venom and experiencing ayahuasca. And then the next time we get together, this is where you get your ayahuasca training. So you will experience and learn ayahuasca. After that, you will go out on your own, not on your own, but as your own practitioner, and and give, administer, and facilitate Cambo, snake venom, as well as ayahuasca. Now, those are the main ingredients, but let us be clear, as we spoke about, there will be a lot more things that will be spoken about, taught, and understood, such as rape/hape, sananga, the understanding of tobacco, how to use it, how to utilize that within the journeys. So there will be a lot more things that are placed in there that you will be learning. So this again is a 1 year container that is teaching you to become an administrator, a facilitator, as well as a practitioner. An administrator, you administrate. That's all you do. A facilitator, you facilitate after the administration process. A practitioner is somebody who knows these things and knows when to, how to, and the root word of practitioner is practice. The individual goes to medical school or law school to learn the basics. After that, they start their own practices, meaning there will be things that will be coming to you that you have no idea of. But you have the intelligence, the knowledge, and the wisdom of how to go find those things out and how to figure out what to do and how to move forward. That is what a practitioner is. Okay? So, none of this is once you leave, you know everything there is to know about it. No, you know the basics, you know the importance, you know what you need to know to safely conduct yourself as an administrator, facilitator, and a practitioner to your clients to serve them in the best way possible.
Yeah. And I think that word safety, safety and integrity are two main words that I think that we're trying to bring forth in this container, is to have the integrity of the medicine practitioner, to have the safety of the medicine practitioner, because there's nothing more beautiful than when people come to you. At least for me, when people come to you and they feel safe and they know you're coming from a place of integrity, right? When they feel safe, then the amount of healing that can happen is so much deeper, because they're able to open up and be vulnerable, and create that space of being able to just let go.
That's
You
right.
know, I know I've had spaces where I've stepped in and I have not felt safe, and the healing that I received, or the lack thereof, was it was felt. It was something that I left feeling, disconnected. I felt not honored. I felt like I needed now to do more healing on top of the work that I had already gone in to heal. So I think those are very important things to bring forward, is that the safety and the integrity of the containers that you're learning from, that you're practicing from, and that you're receiving from is there. So
And so for you to say that safety was one of those things that you said you felt the lack of, for me, it was integrity. It was integrity. I have been in experiences where I have paid for things that I didn't get. I was promised things that didn't happen. I was told things that, and that is the biggest thing for me, integrity. Do what you gonna say you gonna do, right? Hold it down. Keep your word bond. Treat people right, right? So that safety and integrity, we both have felt a lack of those things, and guarantee you gonna get them both when you come here. And let me just point out, there's nobody in the world offering this training that we're offering right now.
Not like this.
Period. I challenge anybody to tell me where you can go get trained in integration, Cambo, snake venom, and ayahuasca all in one container. I'm looking for it. I'm
Yeah.
looking for it. No, I'm not really looking for it because I know it's not out there. So this is
When
the
we
only
found it,
place.
we're
Yeah,
bringing.
when they say when you see something lacking in your community, fulfill it, and that's what we've done.
Yeah, and that's what we definitely have seen. A lack of the ability to hold space, the lack of the ability to know what to do afterwards. What I love that we bring into this container from my perspective, and I've been a curandera, which is essentially what the word shaman would be, or medicine woman, or spiritual healer, light worker, whatever you want to call it, right? I've been a curandera for over 13 years, and what I have seen in this realms, because this when you work with these medicines, it's not just physical things that happen. There's spiritual things that happen. To me, I share with folks that when they take this medicine, it's very similar to the movie Harry Potter, when you're giving that train ticket to go to the platform, whatever it is, 8.5 or whatever platform, and then you get taken to this other mystical realm. So a lot of this medicines is that ticket to go into the mystical realm. And a lot of things that happen there reflect what's happening in this 3D realm. So to know how to maneuver in these realms, to come back safely, to protect your energy, to protect yourself. Many of us practitioners have gone through a period of where we felt completely depleted in energy, where we felt like something was in our energy that wasn't ours. Things that we'll get into, like, you know, negative energies or things like that. Panema, like you brought it up, Panema is something very important that we'll bring up surrounding the teachings. So I'm really truly excited. I look forward to beginning this program. We begin in July with our first retreat starting in September. If you're interested in learning more, they can definitely comment and we'll send them more information. But yeah, I'm so excited to be able to do this. Thankful to you, Sincere, for hearing the call, to creating this with me. We kind of started off in like thinking about something small, and this just kind of birthed itself through us. And I'm just really excited to be able to share with someone that has definitely shown their integrity and safety in this medicine and how they handle it.
Um, First of all, it is an honor for me. From the day that I met you at the Condor, I felt all about you. I was like, this is my favorite person in the world. She is so awesome. So it's an honor for me to actually be working with you. Also, if people want to comment and ask for more info, that is fine. But we will be hosting a Zoom call for all of those that feel called, that feel ready, and feel like this is something for them, where we will be going into details of everything. So we're not going into everything on this live that we're presenting now, but we are having a Zoom call. And if you would like to come to the Zoom call to get more info, when will that be, Jocelyn?
It's March 11th
March 11th at, what was it, noon?
at noon. You got it.
At noon. So March 11th at noon. Put that in your calendars if you think this is something for you. If you feel called to the medicine, if you feel like you're ready to be a sacred medicine practitioner and you want to take part in this and you want more info, come to that Zoom call and we will discuss all of the details and answer all of the questions. This right here is just us letting it be known that we got something good going. So, but if you want to ask for more info in the inbox or the DMs, that's fine as well. If you can't make it to the Zoom call, please allow us to know that, and we can set up a appointment to speak with you directly one on one.
That's right. Yeah. We're so excited to be able to share this, and the info, the Zoom call will have essentially like, what we're going to break down into the months, like what you're going to be learning specifically, and, the cost, your investment, where that investment is going. A lot of the work that we do gets right poured back into our communities as well, which is, something that's part of the integrity and the safety part that we want to make sure that we carry. So excited. I'm so thankful that we connected in this way and that we're able to, bring this forward.
So Lex has a question. Will the Zoom information be posted or should we DM you? You can DM either one of us asking for the Zoom information. Oh, I see what she's saying. Will we post the what do you think, Jocelyn? Should we respond to people who inbox us and um, do it like that instead of
Yeah,
posting it?
yeah.
Yeah,
Either put a comment on on this lives, interested, or put a little snake or a little frog or a grandmother, and we'll hit you up. Any emojis, that you feel that represent your medicine person and how you want to birth them. We would love to give you some information surrounding our info call and the work that we're bringing forward. So yeah.
indeed. So yeah, just send us, however she said, or Zoom information, and we'll make sure to get that to you, so that if you want to come and receive that information, you can do so. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, all right. Oh my goodness. So, anything else? Let me think. Anything else that we need to? Matter of fact, questions, comments, concerns from the people. Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns? I got another. Al Alu Sinari said interested. Okay, yeah. Just DM us or inbox us. Zoom information. We'll get
Thank
that
you.
to
Thank
you.
you, Lucinari. We'll definitely send you info.
Yes. So, do we have any other questions, comments, or concerns? Jocelyn, do you have anything else to offer, to say, to address?
I feel very complete. I just invite folks to, even if you're just curious as to what this would look like, just, inbox us or send us a message, and, we're open to answering those questions. I'm really excited to bring this again, and I wanted to mention that this is not something that we're going to offer every year, like we talked about, being able to not only host the group that we have, the very intimate group that we have for a year, but then also nurturing that first year of life, moving
Right.
forward. So it won't be something that we offer every year. So I want to make sure that folks know that this is something that's very near and dear to us, and we'll take our time with it.
And we are only accepting 8 students at this time. So once those 8 slots are taken, then we're gonna pull back and we're gonna focus on that. So like she said, it's not like yeah, because we end the container, I think June of 2025. So after that, we are going to take our own breaks. We are going to do our own things. We're going to spend time with our own families, and focus on our works. So we're not sure when we will bring this back. So yes, 8 people, and this will be a very exclusive thing. Um, and I'm very excited. Just to let y'all know that I am very excited. I don't know who we're talking to right now, but those of you who are going to be in this container, we are excited to have you. This is going to be something very awesome. And I like what we're putting together because, like I said, a lot of people have been coming to me, and I know Jocelyn has had the same thing, requesting how to become practitioners, requesting training, requesting these walks. And it's not just that easy for us to be like, all right, come on, I'll take you through. These things take planning, they take time, they take attention. So to actually finally have it all together and be ready to offer it, I cannot wait. I'm excited.
Yes, yes, yes. It's all
Okay.
the yeses.
So I have not seen any questions or anything come across. So seems that I think we've covered everything we need to cover.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we look forward to seeing you March 11th. If you're interested on the Zoom call, then just hit us up, send an emoji, a DM, whatever you want. We'll be on the lookout for you. And like, Sincere said, like, we're speaking to you. If you're here in that call, this is the space. And we're really honored, to be able to answer this and to be able to do this work and move the next generation of medicine folks forward. So, yes.
Indeed. Indeed. So, with that being said, I will end this as I always do. Please find somebody today and tell them you love them in the language they can understand it in. Peace.
Love that.
Peace.
Love.